I paid a crazy amount of money to spend 7 full days on what? Supposed to be one of the most luxurious cruise experiences you can book right now, and I'm not going to live before. I even stepped on board. I was already asking myself if this was a genius decision or a huge mistake. I mean, we're talking gourmet dining, ocean view suites, high-end service, and non-stop luxury. At least that's what the marketing promises. But here's the real question. Does a luxury cruise actually feel luxurious once you're reliving on it day after day? Or does the excitement wear off faster than you expect? What you don't see online are the long waits, the hidden costs, stuff that looks amazing on Instagram but feels very different in real life. So in this video, I'm taking you with me from the moment I board the ship all the way through the entire 7-day experience. Breaking down the room, the food, the entertainment, the destinations, and most importantly, whether this kind of trip is truly worth the money. I'll show you what surprised me, what disappointed me, and what honestly exceeded my expectations. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly who this type of cruise is perfect for and who should save their money and travel a completely different way. The experience really started the moment I arrived at the cruise terminal, because that's where expectations meet reality. From the outside, the ship looked massive, almost unreal, like a floating luxury hotel parked at the port. The check-in process was smoother than I expected. No confusion, just a well-organized flow of people moving through security and boarding. That alone already felt different from past cruises I've been on. Staff members were everywhere, greeting guests, directing traffic, and honestly making you feel like you were stepping into something premium. Once I walked onto the ship, the first thing that hit me was the smell, this clean hotel lobby kind of sentient, then the design. Everything looked polished, modern, and intentionally upscale. At that moment, I was thinking, okay, maybe this is worth the hype. After boarding, the first thing I wanted to see was the room, because let's be real, this is where you spend a lot of your downtime. The room wasn't ready yet, so I took some time to explore the ship. The first walk around was overwhelming in a good way. There were multiple pools, lounges, restaurants, quiet zones, and social areas, all with very different vibes. Some spaces felt like a Vegas resort. Others felt calm and almost spa-like. When my room was finally ready, I headed straight there, and this is where things got interesting. The room was definitely nice, clean, stylish, and well thought out, but it wasn't massive. The bed was comfortable, the bathroom was sleek, and the shower pressure was actually great, which is underrated. The balcony view was probably the best part. Waking up to the ocean every morning, stepping outside with a coffee that never gets old. Still, for the price, I did expect a bit more space, and that was my first reminder that luxury doesn't always mean large. One thing I will say is that the service in the room was top tier. Housekeeping was consistent, respectful, and fast. Towels were replaced constantly. The bed was made perfectly every time. And small details like chocolates or notes really added to the experience. Room service was available almost all day, and while it wasn't always instant, the quality was solid. Now let's talk about the food, because this is a huge reason people book cruises in the first place. The main dining room felt like a high-end restaurant, not just a cruise buffet with nicer lighting. The menus changed regularly, and there was a real focus on presentation and quality. Some meals were genuinely amazing, perfectly cooked steak, fresh seafood, desserts that actually tasted as good as they looked. Other meals were good, but not mind-blowing. That's the honest truth. The specialty restaurants were where the food really stepped up, but those usually came with an extra charge. And while I don't mind paying for quality, it did start to add up. The buffet surprised me, though. It was clean, organized, and way better than the typical cruise buffet you might be imagining. Still, after several days, I noticed myself ordering the same things, which made me realize that even luxury can start to feel repetitive. Daily life on the cruise settled into a rhythm pretty quickly. Mornings were coffee, breakfast, ocean views, sometimes a walk around the deck. Afternoons were either pool time, spa time, or just relaxing somewhere quiet with a view. Evenings were more social, with shows, dinners, and live music. What I liked was that you could choose your vibe every day. If you wanted energy and excitement, it was there. If you wanted peace and quiet, that was also an option. The spa was incredible, but expensive. The gym was well equipped and surprisingly empty most of the time, which I appreciated. One thing I didn't expect was how fast the days started blending together. By day 4 or 5, it felt like time moved differently, almost slower, but faster at the same time. Entertainment on board was hit or miss, depending on your taste. Some shows were honestly impressive, with talented performers and strong production value. Others felt a little underwhelming for a luxury cruise. Live music around the ship was consistently good though, and there was always something happening somewhere. The crowd overall leaned more adult and relaxed, not a big party vibe which matched the luxury branding. This is not the kind of cruise where people are wild 24/7. It's more about comfort, conversation, and convenience. Now let's talk about the ports and destinations, because this is where cruises either really shine or fall short. The destinations themselves were beautiful, no doubt about that. Waking up in a new place every couple of days is a great feeling. The excursions offered by the cruise were well organized and safe, but they were expensive. Some felt worth it, especially ones that included unique experiences or access you wouldn't easily get on your own. Others felt overpriced for what you actually received. On a few ports, I chose to explore independently and honestly. Those days felt more freeing and more memorable. There's something about being on your own schedule that just hits different. One thing that became very clear as the week went on was how important it is to understand the real cost of a luxury cruise. The initial price is just the beginning. Tips, drinks, specialty dining, Wi-Fi, excursions, it all adds up quickly. I'm not saying this to complain, but it's something people don't talk about enough. By the end of the trip, the total cost was significantly higher than what I originally paid. That doesn't automatically make it not worth it, but it definitely changes how you evaluate the experience. So let's break it down honestly. The biggest pros of this luxury cruise were convenience, service, and consistency. Everything was taken care of. Didn't have to plan hotels, transportation, or meals. The staff treated guests incredibly well, and the overall experience was smooth from start to finish. The biggest cons were the price, the occasional lack of flexibility, and the fact that no matter how... So after 7 days of living on this luxury cruise, here's the honest truth. It's an amazing experience if you value comfort, service, and having everything handled for you. But it's definitely not for everyone. The price adds up fast, the schedule can feel limiting, and the luxury only feels worth it if it matches the way you like to travel. I don't regret doing it, and I'd do it again under the right circumstances. But now you know exactly what you're signing up for. Let me know in the comments, would you spend your money on a luxury cruise? Or would you travel a different way?